Okay, friends, for the next 2 minutes, we're gonna watch professional screenwriter Tommy Cook break down act by act why 2018's Aquaman is the greatest film ever made.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Hot Take, the show where we have smart people argue about really absurd things. Every week, we give our defendant a fresh hot take that they have to defend against our prosecution.
It's just by throwing axes. Has anybody done that? Greg?
Order in the court.
Okay, stop, stay there. We have no...
Both teams compete for amazing prizes, and there are a few curveballs along the way. The defendant has a whole week to prepare their argument while our prosecution comes in completely blind. Can our defendant maintain their questionable hot take, or will our prosecution poke holes in their defense?
Well, I just don't like when people lie to me and they make things up.
Let's find out on Hot Take.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Hot Take. This is the show where we get really smart people and make them argue about really dumb things. We have a defendant, we give them a topic, and they have to convince our prosecution. I'm Michael Burns, joined here today by our prosecution consisting of Reilly Anspaugh, Greg Edwards, and Helen Floersh. Now, they are not just competing for pride, although pride's wonderful. They're competing for a real prize, and that prize is this. It's a hazmat suit. It includes a place for an oxygen tank down here. So whenever we have the next global pandemic, you and your family, if they're small, will be safe inside of this. So the stakes are high today. And the stakes are even higher today because we have Mr. Tommy Cook, who's our defendant. Tommy, I'm both excited and afraid to see what you're gonna try to convince the prosecution of today. So what's it gonna be?
I mean, do we even have to do this? Because you just give me the hazmat suit now. We can skip 20 minutes.
Okay, that's
I already got some questions now, but we'll let
okay. I just recommend, we don't want to, get them riled up. So, Tommy, what's it gonna be?
Well, today I'm defending the greatest film ever made. And I'm speaking, of course, unquestionably about the 2018 James Wan, Jason Momoa classic, Aquaman. A classic.
Fantastic. So, we know the deal. He's gonna be trying to convince us that this is the best movie ever made. You are gonna be trying to show that this argument makes no sense. You have 2 questions each. You have a power-up each. Let's get started. Who has the first question for Tommy today?
I got one. Now, how is Aquaman the best movie made where it's not even the highest grossing movie ever made?
I think it's unfair to qualify quality by financial growth. Many people would argue The Godfather, Goodfellas, all these movies are the greatest films of all time. None of them even come close to financially feasible or financially viable films. Aquaman has made 10 times more than those movies all combined. So if you're going to argue on behalf of financial viability, I don't understand even where to begin.
Okay, so this is a classic disagreement in terms. Tommy does not think financial viability is at play here, and I think you might have a point, I don't know.
So, you brought up films like The Godfather, Goodfellas. Films that are considered some of the greatest movies of all time have deeper themes that are universal, that stand the test of time. Could you kind of elaborate on some of those deeper, universal, time-honored themes in Aquaman?
Wow. To be clear, once again, I'm impartial here, but Reilly, that was a really good question.
Thank you so much.
That was great.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your impartiality.
Yeah.
Sure, I think the movie is about...
Tommy, again, we have a timer. Great, the floor is yours, Tommy.
I have my timer. Again, I would argue that this movie is about the most important existential crisis happening today in our lives, global warming. The film is about the land versus the sea, and the sea rising up against the land because they are polluting the earth. This is a timeless film arguing for the most prescient obstacle facing us today, much more so than Goodfellas or about the mob or anything like that. So, take that away.
That's great. I mean, Goodfellas did teach me how to slice garlic.
Yeah. Did it teach you how to save the world?
Never flush the cocaine, but it did not teach me how to save the world. Now, Helen, I know you decently. People out there know you. You know about science. You care about this sort of stuff.
Listen, I didn't see Aquaman because I just anticipated that it was so bad that I didn't want to waste my time. And so I guess I just want to understand you, Tommy, as a writer, what do you feel like how does Aquaman, like, let's just use Citizen Kane. Explain to me specifically how Aquaman stands up to Citizen Kane and still comes out on top.
Well, I think that Helen's, hatred towards Aquaman, without even seeing it, is the proof in the pudding right there. Where you have a film like Citizen Kane, made by sort of what was already considered to be sort of the greatest upcoming young director of our times in Orson Welles. Then you have Aquaman, a movie nobody takes seriously, a character in the DC universe that everyone made fun of. The expectations were so low for a movie like Aquaman versus Citizen Kane, which are sky high. And yet, a movie like Aquaman changed the discourse around Aquaman. Citizen Kane didn't change the discourse around Orson Welles. He was thought to be a genius beforehand, he was thought to be a genius afterwards. Aquaman was considered a joke before this film. And then after this film, no one is calling Aquaman a joke anymore. He's not, he's Jason Momoa, baby.
Actually, I'd like to use a power-up.
Oh boy, okay. So Helen has chosen to use a power-up. What happens during a power-up is our prosecution, get to make him, Tommy, our defendant, talk about something for 2 minutes straight without stopping. Helen, what's he talking about?
Well, I still would like a breakdown, act by act, of Citizen Kane versus Aquaman, and I'd like to understand how, again, you can say that this film can top that. I'm not convinced.
Okay, friends, for the next 2 minutes, we're gonna watch professional screenwriter Tommy Cook break down act by act why 2018's Aquaman is the greatest film ever made.
I think when we look at what makes the greatest movie ever made, we need to look at impact. What is the impact of this movie? Aquaman comes out. It is a movie that nobody takes seriously, and it grosses over $1 billion worldwide. It reaches a mass audience of people that Citizen Kane has not reached. I think if you ask the common man on the street if they have seen Citizen Kane, they will tell you they have not. Now, Aquaman is a movie about the need to go beyond partisanship and to come together in order to face a global climate change, this global climate crisis. This is what the entire movie is about. It is about land and sea uniting in the face of this, getting over their sides, getting over all partisanship, coming together via Aquaman. This is a movie that was seen by over 1 billion people worldwide, and it reaches them. People come into this movie thinking, whatever, I'm just gonna see a dumb movie about some superhero who's, with a trident, looking for some lost trident or whatever. And what they get out of it is this hidden depth and this hidden message that can touch them deeply. This is a movie that can change the narrative and save our world. And there's no other film that can do that. Citizen Kane, Rosebud, that's not going to change the world. That's not going to move the needle forward. Aquaman has the propensity to reach a mass audience, a global audience, and convince them, the common rube, that they can make a difference themselves, that they can save the world. I mean, that's the case.
I'm inspired, but I need a little bit more.
Well,
just a little bit, just a smidgen more.
How much more? How many more seconds? Citizen Kane has Goodfellas, has, any of these Martin Scorsese movies, any of these Christopher Nolan movies, have they ever done anything?
No, you did it. Tommy, you can earmuff it, do a lap, whatever you need to do. How are we feeling? Greg, I want to start with you. How are you feeling this is going thus far? If this was...
I mean, I think it's going great. Tommy's passion is coming through like a football coach. But he's struggling over there. He's losing, he's falling down, he's sweating. Look at his body language. But I think we got this.
And I can ask Greg, have you seen the movie Aquaman?
Why would I see Aquaman?
Okay, that says a lot. Well, let's start with this. Reilly, have you seen the movie Aquaman?
No, I have not seen the film in question.
Okay, based on what has happened thus far today, are you thinking that A, it's a movie you want to see immediately, and B, that it could be an all-time classic?
That's an incredible question. And that kind of relates to what I was going to say in that, listen, if I knew anything about this act breakdown of Aquaman, act by act, we didn't hear anything about any single act of Aquaman in that question. I would love to see it if I knew a little bit about what happens.
Okay.
And we didn't get any of that.
Do you think that, don't listen to this one, do you think he should have known a little more? I kind of have sympathy because act by act, that's hard, but should he brought a little bit more there?
Act by act, that's hard, but I would love at least a little bit like, this is what happens when Aquaman does X, Y, Z.
Well, I definitely don't want to see Aquaman, and I'm not convinced that Tommy really wants to watch Aquaman either. Not even a little bit.
Wow. Okay. So I will not be inviting you all over for Aquaman night. I had snacks made. Tommy, no, you guys aren't here anymore. How are you doing, bud? How are you feeling? I mean, because something that your prosecution noted, they did say some things that could be argued were hurtful, but they also reflected on your passion, the way in which you seem to believe this, and that means something, and I felt that. I think everyone watching's feeling that. So how do you think you're doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, these rubes haven't even seen the movie, so I mean...
Okay. So remember, we have one power-up remaining. I'm not gonna say who has it. I think we have 2 questions left from our prosecution. Great. Who wants to get us going, Greg?
You say that Aquaman is the greatest movie of all time, and you keep giving us comps like Godfather and Goodfellas, which was made by Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola with leads like Al Pacino and Ray Liotta. Can you give us any background of the director of Aquaman and Jason Momoa? What films has he made in the past that would make him be the leading man for the greatest movie of all time?
And just to clarify, Greg, is your question, where are the Italians in Aquaman?
Basically.
This is another elitist question, saying that Martin Scorsese is somehow a better filmmaker than James Wan. James Wan redefined the horror film landscape with Saw, a movie that ushered in tortured porn, really just defined 2000 era's horror. So that's that. Jason Momoa is the pinnacle of action stardom, a guy who combines the charisma of The Rock with sort of the sexuality of a Schwarzenegger, of a peak 80s Schwarzenegger. He combines that in a sort of a desexualized action hero time. He is the only guy who consistently takes off his shirt and makes out with chicks. He's a godsend. That's all.
So I just want to be clear here for everyone. He is a desexualized, sexualized 80s Schwarzenegger who makes out with chicks.
That's how he does it. He is the balance between all the sides.
Okay.
He has the charisma and the desexuality of a Rock and the sexuality of a Schwarzenegger combined together.
He didn't answer the question.
What did Jason Momoa do?
He makes out with chicks.
Makes out with chicks, dude. He's Jason Momoa. Also, okay, I'll answer your question. I'll keep going. I'll answer your question. Jason Momoa has used his Aquaman fame to spur environmentalism. He has spoken at the UN. He has created his own sustainable lifestyle brand. He has raised money off the Ellen DeGeneres show for $35,000 in 10 seconds just by throwing axes. Has anybody done that, Greg?
Order in the court.
Okay. What I want to do right now is everyone take a breath. Imagine you are an aqua person. You're about to go under. Let's get one big breath.
What action star has saved the world like Jason Momoa?
Take the breath, Tommy.
Take the breath, Tommy. Before we get to the end, okay, we have a final question. Reilly seems ready to go. What do you got for us?
What were the reviews like?
I'm not going to answer that because I'm going to use my power up.
Oh! Okay, this is our final.
Don't even bother asking the question.
Stop. Stay there. We have zones. Everyone has a zone. But a power-up for the defendant is when they get to give a PowerPoint presentation making their point. Tommy's going to do that right now. The floor is yours, sir.
You know what? I just go to the last PowerPoint because I don't need any of the others. Look at this graph. In these graphs, we see that the environmentalism was trending downwards from 2018 to 2019 in both these graphs. And yet there's an uptick from 2019 to 2020. What date was Aquaman released? The end of 2018. I rest my case.
Wow. I mean, that's his data. Do we not? We didn't feel like the chart did. But now we have to decide who won today. Now on one side, we have Tommy Cook, professional screenwriter who took the bold step of arguing that Aquaman, a movie that no one else in this room has seen, is the greatest movie of all time. We've had comparisons to names like Wells, Scorsese, desexualized Schwarzenegger. And he brought passion, he brought data, and most importantly, what I think Tommy did today is made it about more than the movies, right? Because when we leave the theater, where are we? The real world. What's the real world like? It's getting hot, folks. On the other hand, I've seen 3 people, one of whom is currently just drawing circles ladies and gentlemen. She's just drawing circles. I looked over. It's not notes. There's 3 circles inside of a bigger circle with 3 people that asked, I think, honest questions. I don't think we bullied Tommy today. I think we inquired, and we inquired because we care. And what I sense from this side today is people that love cinema. People that go outside and they think, not for me. I want to go inside of a cold, dark room and sit with a bunch of strangers and eat popcorn that has way more saturated fat than I ever realized. And that's why it's very, very, very hard for me to do this. But Tommy, I haven't seen the movie, so I have no idea. So they're going to win this one. If I would have gotten notes to see it before, so here is a suit, a hazmat suit, which you're going to need because if you don't believe in the themes of Aquaman, our climate's going to be continually destroyed, and we're all going to be wearing these soon enough. So here you go.
Thank you. This was hard one. Thank you. Also, fuck Aquaman.
Whoa, okay. Once again, thank you so much to Helen Floersh and her potty mouth, to Greg Edwards and his good note-taking on a digital device, to Reilly Anspaugh and her curious, inquisitive inquiries, and thank you so much to Tommy Cook for doing something. Come on, be a good sport.
I want to file an appeal again.
Be a good sport.
I want to file an appeal again. This is biased judging.
It's a YouTube show. He thinks it's a real court. There's no appeal system. There's no appeal system. But this has been Hot Take from Michael Burns and all my friends. We'll see you next time.